listen to him. And I think taking that step in his leadership is critical to our team's success. Decision making is something that I've talked to these guys all the time about, and especially Deshaun. It's all about the decision making. If he's making the right decisions and just distributing the ball to our guys with plenty of weapons, then things are going to go smooth. Not to push because of all these expectations, Heisman talk and all that. He's deserving of that, but he can't get caught up in that. He needs to just focus on doing what he's coached to do and making those good decisions, and I think things will fall into place for him.
Did you ever talk to Chad or anyone else about coaching Deshaun or a talent like Deshaun specifically?
I haven't had a one-on-one with Chad. I've actually only met Chad really one or two times, and we just talked about how special of a guy that Deshaun is, and how unique he is with his ability and demeanor. But we didn't talk specifics about coaching him. Obviously, Tony and Jeff and the other guys on staff that have been around him have given insight on not only what he does well, but what type of guy he is and that sort of thing, so that I've been able to gather that information through those guys.
For you personally, did you ever have a moment in the last 8 months or so since being hired where you sat and thought, what's happening right now? You go from Richmond to coaching a Heisman contender.
Yeah. It's funny you asked that because I've been waiting for this opportunity for a while, and I've been excited about an opportunity like this for a long time, and finally getting this opportunity back at my alma mater, and then on top of that, coaching a guy like Deshaun Watson. It's very special to me because it is my alma mater, and it is a guy that has this potential and has the ability to do some special things. So yes, several times in the last 6 or 8 months, I've sat back and said, man, I'm very blessed to have this opportunity, and just thankful for being able to coach these type of kids, and so I'm just excited about this opportunity.
As you're evaluating your position, I guess specifically for the guys who's in the NFL, what are some of the checklist of factors, traits that you look at?
Yeah, great question. Number one, we want to have a guy that is a quarterback first, and when I mean that, not only do I want to have a guy that can throw the ball first, but also have the intangibles that can really unite a team, the leadership ability, the work ethic, all those intangibles that make him special. So throwing the football, intangibles, and then on top of that, I want to be able to get the best athlete that I can possibly get. But I don't want it to be flipped. I don't necessarily like an athlete that we think can be a quarterback. I'd much rather have a guy that's already established. We know he can play quarterback. We know he can do this, and then have the best athlete from there. And so that's kind of where we start. Being able to move the pocket and be able to throw the ball from different launch points is important for a lot of reasons. To move the pocket, to help the offensive line, all those things are critical, and for a quarterback to be able to not just be able to stand in the pocket and throw the ball, but maneuver is critical. That doesn't mean he has to be a guy that's a 4-4 or a 4-5 guy, but a guy that can move and throw the ball well on the run, and can hold defenses accountable or to hold them in check by being able to run the football when we need them to. And that just totally depends on who it is back there. But I think that all the guys that we have the ability to run the football in a certain way. Deshaun's a unique athlete. He can run the football. I think he's more of an outside guy than an inside guy like Taj Boyd was. And then like Nick Schuessler, he's got some good feet. He's got pretty good feet. He's not quite as smooth of an athlete as Deshaun is, but he's adequate, and he can be able to hold defenses, to make sure that they try to defend him as well.
Presuming you watched the Louisville tape from last year, brief as it was, but what was different about that day than the NC State and the UNC games that you saw at the show?
I don't know one thing in particular, but I don't have a great answer for that. I mean, I don't know what.
Did he seem more flustered at all? Just, I mean, Louisville was a higher level defense. But.
Yeah, I mean, there's maybe part of it being just, a freshman, number one. So him going from one week to another and being able to prepare and that sort of thing. I can't tell you exactly the week of preparation, how that went. So there's a lot of variables that go into it. So maybe that was part of it. But I know just being a freshman and learning and understanding, okay, each week you got to be ready to go and you got to be 100% mentally focused. That's a lot. That's a lot on a kid, especially as a freshman.
So that may be another expectation that going into a sophomore, he's got to do it for 12 weeks.
That's exactly right. Consistency is another thing. Matter of fact, I just did the goals for our quarterbacks, just as a general, all the quarterbacks. We got to be consistent. And I know that's a general statement, but if we're not consistent at the quarterback spot, it's very glaring. And I can't have a guy that's great one week and then not quite as good the next week. So we're definitely going to make mistakes, but we need to be consistent with especially our decision making. And so consistency is a big word for us in the quarterback room.
Kind of going back to different quarterbacks